Okay, so imagine this. You've just had an awesome run with your RC car. You flip the power switch to off, leave the battery plugged in. You figure, hey, it's off, it's safe, right?
Right. Seems logical.
Well, our deep dive today, looking at a whole bunch of analysis on RC battery storage, it kind of shows this habit, this seemingly harmless thing. It's actually, well, like a ticking time bomb for your batteries, and maybe even your safety.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly common misconception.
So our mission here is really to show you why leaving it plugged in is just universally unsafe. Doesn't matter the battery chemistry, doesn't matter if it's charged or discharged. And, crucially, highlight the one thing you absolutely must do.
And what's really interesting, or maybe worrying, is how this happens. It's down to a tiny, almost invisible current.
Right, because that off switch on your ESC, your electronic speed controller, it's not really cutting all the power.
Exactly. It's what we call a soft switch. It feels like it's off, but the main electronics, they're still getting a little bit of juice.
So it's never truly disconnected internally. That's, wow, quite the trap.
And this creates what's known as a parasitic drain, a constant leakage of power. Some manufacturers, like Castle Creations, they even mention this in their manuals.
I've heard some ESCs even beep, right, as a reminder.
Yeah, some do. They beep to tell you, hey, I'm still drawing power here. Because that drain, it varies a lot.
How much are we talking?
Well, it can be tiny, like microamps and really high-end setups, almost negligible. But in other common hobby-grade ones, it can be significant. We're talking milliamps, sometimes like 50, almost 60 mA in some cases we've seen documented.
Okay, 50 or 60 mA, that doesn't sound like a huge number maybe. But what does that actually mean for, say, a typical battery?
Well, think about a common 5,000 mAh LiPo pack. Let's say you ran it down near its cutoff voltage. Even let's pick a moderate drain, say 30 mA.
Okay.
Leaving it connected like that can push that battery into a state of deep discharge, like irreversible damage, in just over a day. Around 33 hours, give or take.
Wow, just over a day, and it's potentially toast.
Yeah. And what about NiMh? Like a 3,300 milliver NiMh pack. That same 30 mA drain. It can completely deplete it and cause cell reversal in under 5 days.
So, okay, the problem looks a bit different depending on if it's LiPo or NiMh. But the end result is always bad for the battery. Always negative.
Exactly. Let's break that down a bit. For lithium batteries, like LiPo and the Life ones, leaving them fully charged is one issue. It speeds up chemical aging.
Right, that's the storage voltage thing people talk about.
Precisely. Storing them full causes things like solid electrolyte interface growth, SCI growth, and even lithium plating. That plating can form dendrites, sharp little spikes inside.
And dendrites mean shorts, right? Internal shorts.
Potentially, yes. There's data, like from Battery University, showing a standard Li-ion battery stored full, 100% charge, for a year at room temp, like 25 degrees C, it can lose maybe 20% of its capacity.
20%. Just from sitting there, fully charged.
Compared to only maybe 4% loss if it was stored at the proper storage charge, like 40%.
Okay, so storing full is bad for lifespan. But what about leaving it connected when it's discharged? You mentioned that being worse.
Oh, much, much worse. That parasitic drain we talked about, it keeps pulling the voltage down below the safe minimum for lithium cells. This causes copper components inside the cell to literally dissolve into the electrolyte.
Dissolve. Okay, that sounds really bad.
It is, because the next time you try to charge it, that dissolved copper can plate out, forming those metallic dendrites we mentioned. That leads directly to internal shorts. And an internal short in a lithium battery, that can mean thermal runaway.
Thermal runaway. That's the fire and explosion risk we hear about.
That's the one. Violent failure. It's so dangerous, actually, that modern smart chargers, they're designed to detect this. They'll refuse to charge a pack that's been over-discharged that badly.
So the charger itself might save you, but the battery is already ruined.
Right. And even Life batteries, which are generally more stable than LiPo, they still suffer permanent damage from being over-discharged like this.
Okay, that covers the lithium side. What about the nickel batteries? NiMh and the older nitride. Still risky.
Absolutely. Equally severe, just different mechanisms. If you leave a fully charged NiMh or NiCed pack connected, that slow drain can contribute to something called voltage depression.
Is that the memory effect thing?
People often confuse it, yeah. Especially with NiMh. Technically, it's due to crystal growth in NiMh, but the result is similar. Reduced performance, the pack doesn't deliver power as well.
But again, like with lithium, the bigger danger is leaving it connected when it's empty, right? You mentioned cell reversal.
Exactly. That's the killer for nickel packs left connected and depleted. See, the cells inside a pack, They're never perfectly matched. One will always be slightly weaker, have slightly less capacity.
Okay, makes sense.
So as the pack discharges, that weakest cell hits empty first, but the other, stronger cells, they still have charge.
Yeah.
And because they're all connected in series,
They force current through the dead one. Backwards.
precisely backwards. This forces unintended, nasty chemical reactions in that poor, depleted cell, like electrolysis of the water in the electrolyte, producing hydrogen gas.
Gas buildup inside the cell. Uh-oh.
Yeah, internal pressure skyrockets. This can physically rupture the cell casing, leading to leaks of that corrosive electrolyte fluid. It's messy and destroys the pack. While NiMh is maybe a bit tougher than NiMh in this regard, that parasitic drain from leaving it connected guarantees this process will happen eventually if the pack is left depleted.
Wow. Okay, so across the board, LiPo, Life, NiMh, fully charged, partially charged, fully discharged. Leaving it connected is just asking for trouble. Different kinds of trouble, but always trouble.
You got it. Which brings us to the really important question, I think.
Which is...
What's the fix? What's the universal solution here?
And thankfully, the answer is actually really simple. Like, non-negotiable simple. You just have to physically disconnect the battery from the vehicle.
Yep.
Every single time. Immediately after you're done running.
That's it. Just unplug it.
That's the golden rule. That one action stops the parasitic drain, eliminates the risk of over-discharge from the ESC, prevents the accelerated aging from sitting fully charged and connected. It solves everything we've just talked about.
Simple, but critical.
Absolutely. And beyond that fundamental rule, there are the other standard safety things, of course. Use a good quality charger, one that's right for your battery chemistry. Always charge in something fire-resistant, like a LiPo bag or ammo can. And never, ever leave batteries charging unattended.
Standard best practices. And for storage.
Right, for longer-term storage. LiPo and Life should be at their storage voltage. That's usually around 3.7 to 3.85 volts per cell. You'll need a charger that can do a storage charge function.
And the nickel packs?
NiMh and NiMh, they prefer a partial charge for storage, maybe 40 to 50% state of charge. Store all types in a cool, dry place, and make sure the terminals can't accidentally touch anything conductive.
Good insulation is key.
Definitely. And one last thing. Always inspect your batteries. Before you charge, after you run, look for any physical damage, swelling, puffing. Especially with LiPos. A puffed LiPo is a major fire hazard. Don't try to use it or charge it. Dispose of it safely according to your local regulations.
Yeah, puffing is a clear sign something's gone wrong internally. Don't ignore it.
It's really fascinating, though, isn't it, how just a tiny unseen bit of current, that parasitic drain, can lead to such, well, catastrophic results if you're not careful.
It really is, which kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What seemingly small, unnoticed habit in your own life, maybe totally unrelated to RC cars, could be silently degrading something important without you even realizing it's happening.